Do you enjoy wandering in the beauty of nature? Have you ever wondered what would happen if a child had to raise themselves in the woods and been outcasted by their entire community and then be accused of murder by that same community? If these questions were intriguing, then you might be interested in reading Where the Crawdads Sings by Delia Owens. This debut novel by Delia Owens is an atmospheric, coming-of-age murder mystery set in the swampy marshes of North Carolina. Catherine Clark, also known as Kia, was raised in a small shack in an isolated marsh with her ma, her pa, and her many siblings. In 1952, when Kia was 6 years old, her mother and her siblings abandoned her, trying to escape their father's abuse. Kia was then left to her own devices and had to do the cooking and cleaning for her dad, until her dad eventually abandoned Kia too, leaving her to raise herself in the wilderness. Kia survived by fishing and foraging wild vegetables. She also survived by going to town and buying grits. When she went into town, she was ridiculed and made fun of by the townspeople for being a wild swamp girl. When she was older, she began to educate herself on the natural wildlife around her, which she has always felt a deep connection to, a deeper connection than with other people. Now in her adult age, she had began to develop romantic relationships with two different boys, a boy named Tate and a boy named Chase Andrews. After she had a falling out with Chase, who lied and said that he would marry her, even though he was engaged to someone else, had died, and his body was discovered a week later rotting in the marsh. Because of her background as a hermit living in the swamp, Kia is the main suspect. This story flips back and forth from the past to the present, with the past moments being Kia's upbringing, her and Chase's relationship, and the events that led to his death. And in the present is the courtroom drama discussing her involvement in the crime. Author Delia Owens uses her background as a wildlife scientist and her childhood experience growing up in rural Georgia to give beautiful descriptions of North Carolina and the marsh and nature around Kia. It is a fast-paced narrative that is fairly straightforward and is written with very descriptive language describing the nature around Kia. This book is a good read if you are into books about murder mysteries, darker themes of overcoming adversity, coming of age, strong female leads, being connected with nature, romance, and drama. Though if you don't like darker themes with topics like neglect, murder, or assault, this might not be the best pick for you. If you like similar titles like To Kill a Mockingbird, Educated, or Carolina Moonset, this title might be a good pick for you. If you're looking for a good place to start in exploring the genre of mystery, this would be a good entry point into the genre. The mystery is fairly straightforward. It's pretty fast-paced. This would be a good leisurely read if you want to ease yourself into the topic of mystery.